And good morning and welcome to Touch Base Daily. My name is Ron Fawcett, touching base with you as I do every day. How are you guys doing? How are you guys doing? They keep I don't know why this thing keeps resetting. What is going on? Anyway, how are you all doing? It's a Monday morning and it's the first day, well, half day so far of autumn. Autumn starts at 2 o'clock. So this is the last couple of hours of summer. I hope you got everything in. I hope you went to the beaches. We had great weather this weekend past. Summer is over, y'all. Summer is over. It is over. It is over as of 2 o'clock today, 2 and change. And so how are you all doing? What's new in your lives? What's going on in your world? Today is a busy day. I'll talk about that. I'm going to end early today because it's going to be a busy day today. I have a event going on later on with filmmakers. And so that's happening later. And then I am part of the Namibian delegation dinner this evening. So that is a great opportunity to meet my in one place, maybe in one time, maybe my new country, my other country, I should say, because I will still be an American. Well, as long as they keep me as an American. But yeah, so I have a busy day ahead, and I'm so excited about this day. My buddy arrived yesterday from Namibia, and so I'm so excited. And because he's here, so I get to show off the city a little more. And for those that maybe follow, I packed up most of the living room is packed. My dining room is packed. And now I start moving into the closet areas today and clean. Well, not today, tomorrow, because today I have all these events going on. And then I have to get back to editing photos from last week's events from the golf tournament and add more to that to their page so they can enjoy the golf outing in photos. So anyway, good morning. I see the first person in the building is Hannah. She says, good morning, Ron and Touch Base Daily family. It's so good to see Hannah. She gets the gold. And the wonderful G.R. Houston Jack is in the building. She says, good morning. I like the new new avatar you have there, new icon picture of yourself. And look, wait a minute. Adrian's in the building. Happy Monday, people. He gets the bronze. But yes, Gwendolyn, I do like the new picture. And Kelly A is in the building. She says, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Hey, I see. G says, disconnecting this week. It's the wedding anniversary week. Yes. It was some years ago that I hopped on a plane to see my buddy, Howsy Wowsy, work wife, get married in Houston how many years has it been now, G? How many years? It's been a while. Is this the 8th anniversary or 9th anniversary? Yes. And Kimmy says, good morning. What's going on, Kimmy Kim? Fresh out of us playing. We were playing our game night last night. And Chris R, as usual, she said, I am the queen. She was the MVP last night, Chris R. And I see good morning exchanges. And Bryson is in the building. I did have my sip. And Bryson says, what's up, Ron? What's up, RLP fam? What's up, everybody? Happy Money Making Monday. Welcome to the first day of fall. Tomorrow is the first full day of fall, but today is the first hours of fall. Yes, the transition day. Today is the September equinox. The equinox is today. And so today we're between both seasons. And let's see here. Who else is in the building? I see all the love. I see all the extent. How's it going, Gwendolyn? I see all the love. I see Jack can't look bad if she tried. 8 years. So I was good. Okay, 8 years. I was like 8 years or 9 years. 8 years. 8 years. And yes, happy anniversary. So Gwendolyn, we celebrated her birthday. Now we celebrating her anniversary. And Mr. Jack is a good man, a good man. So she's blessed to have Mr. Jack, and Mr. Jack is blessed to have her. And good morning, good morning. I see. Summit is officially over. Not yet, Bryson. It will be at 2:00. I think 2:30, 2:38. I think it is something like that today. I know I'm the nerd. How would I know the actual numbers, right? I am the true nerd in the building. This is the nerd land. Cass says, blessed day, motivated Monday. It is a motivation Monday. And I hope to motivate you guys. 2:30 today, 2:30. Okay. And so what is happening in the world? Well, first of all, they had their convention. They have a memorial service in Arizona for, and I say convention because it was part memorial, part convention, part rally cry, part. And yeah, so we won't talk about it that much, but just let you know that it was, Don Lemon did a great job this morning. I have to tell you, Don Lemon brought it home. You would have thought you were in a church service today, this morning, on Don's show when he opened up around. He started late today. He started about 10. If you go to his page and check it out later on and catch the opening, so well done, and shared about where we are today with Christian nationalism and the church, the fake church, not the Bible believing, love giving Christians. Maybe there's a difference between the nationalists and the ones that love God with all their heart and show love to their fellow human beings. But these folks this was their rally cry. And the only person that had a sense of grace and forgiveness was CK's wife, and saying she forgives the person that shot her husband, unalived her husband. And but the rest of it was a sham. The rest of it was a sham. I see here, Gwendolyn says, okay, Gwen, I saw something in the news here about flooding in your state and immediately thought about you. Stay safe. There's always something going on in Texas. Texas is a huge state. Two things that are misrepresented on the maps: Texas and Africa. Adrian said it was all dramatics, even the forgiveness part. Oh, Adrian. Oh, he even went there. The forgiveness part. It was drama. It was drama. And yeah, we are in a dangerous place in America, because once people become, let me go back. Once people begin to wrap their identity of their country in their religion, it's all downhill. That's when you have, I watched the CIA analyst who studies civil wars this weekend. And she says, civil wars don't break out. It's almost impossible for civil wars to break out in healthy democracies, or for civil wars to break out in total dictatorships. If a country is a total dictatorship, autocracy, very hard for civil war to break out. Also, she mentioned, it's very hard for a country that is thriving in democracy to have civil war break out. And she was sharing, America is neither a democracy or a dictatorship. It's in the middle. It's in the middle. It's what they call the danger zone. She calls it a danger zone, that the people are so erratic in their belief systems. They're looking to religion. They're looking to these outside things to make them survive. And this mixture of the brew has always, or in most cases, led to civil war. And so the question was for this CIA, she worked for several administrations in America, and because she was responsible for analyzing civil wars around the world. And she says America is in a danger zone. She said, I don't want to bring fear to anyone, but I want people to be aware that America is in a danger zone of becoming, it can easily slip into a civil war. I was like, oh, she did not say it. She said it. She said it out loud. And I'll make sure I link the clip to this because I can't even explain. I mean, she does such a great job on this subject. I was fascinated. I just sat on my sofa and just said, wow. I mean, I like studying wars. I love studying the Civil War. I love studying the World War II, World War I, Vietnam War. The only war I really haven't studied, and maybe I need to do that, is the Korean War. I still really don't understand the full dynamics of the Korean War. My grandfather fought in the Korean War. I never understood the dynamics, the outer stuff. But I've never done an in-depth study of the Korean War. That is something that has been on my agenda to do. But yeah, but I you're talking about someone that loves to study wars. And I'm always fascinated by people that have conversations about wars. I'm just so into it. Anyway, let's see what else is out here. Hey, Lisa's in the building. And she said, I only saw clips. It looked like a Republican convention. It was a Republican convention. And I see, hey, Elise is in the building. She says, good morning, Adrian. I agree. She agrees with Adrian's statement. And Kelly says, I saw a clip of a man crying and carrying a cross. I said, okay. Kimmy Kim says, I didn't see anything much about the memorial. I did this morning. I saw all the reviews. I didn't watch it. And G says, I watched football highlights. Speaking of football, it is football season. How many of you are into football? Oh, yeah, I see Lisa saying, G, did you say football? Go Niners. Oh, sorry about that sound, the sounds of the city. And we eked the win out. The Niners won. Oh, okay. Congratulations, Lisa, on your win. Elise says, we are in purgatory. Whew, who you telling? Purgatory is a horrible place to be. Purgatory. When I was in Catholic school, we used to talk about purgatory all the time. The place of limbo. And it was a horrible place. People always say, oh, it's better to go to hell or it's better to go to heaven. But the worst place to be is purgatory, according to my teachers when I was in Catholic school. Yeah, purgatory is a horrible place. Anyway, G says, thanks, Lisa. Darn Texans are 0-3. Well, they're not bad. Who's worse, the Texans or the Giants? Did the Giants do anything this weekend, Adrian? Did the Giants do anything? Adrian knows all about football. One thing I'm going to learn when I'm hanging out with Adrian and hanging out on his deck is that my son will teach me more about football in ways that I don't already know. Like, I know the basics, but he knows football. I just watch Adrian interact with football, and it's just like amazes me. And he seems to be able to make the call before the call is made and announced. And I'm usually flabbergasted by it. Anyway, that's about family time there. What about the 100,000? Oh, G. Now I'm going to make you come on to talk about that one. If you want to come on and talk about it, I did send the clip from an immigration lawyer in my stories about the $100,000 fee on those H1-B visas. And these visas are mostly obtained by people from India. and some people from China, but mainly from India. And since America is not doing well with their relationship with India, they raised prices on these visas. So now I'm like, hold up. Who's to say they're not going to do it to Namibia? Who's to say they're not going to do it to Ghana? Who says they're not going to do this to South Africa? Who says that they're not going to do this to all of these countries? That's why when people say, Ron, where are you going to live? Right now, I have no idea. I mean, I'll be with Adrian, and I'll be here in Brooklyn with my brother's house, for some things. And because I still want to maintain my New York residency. And they say, Ron, where are you going to move? I said, that's why I'm doing a 2-year nomad tour, because taking these 2 years to fill out what's going on in the geopolitical climate. Okay, I always have to make sure I clarify. What does geopolitical mean? Geopolitical means global situations. Geo means global. And that is a concern, Gwendolyn. I sat there and said, whoa. It went into effect what's today's? It went into effect yesterday. Yes, the 21st of September. My favorite song. Do you remember the 21st night of September? Anyway, one of my favorite songs. He just said, I don't want to talk about it. He doesn't want to talk about the Giants. The Giants make me want to cry. What happened to the Giants? What happened to the Giants? Lisa said, I was surprised to see so many brown people there, and with the level of speech he gave during his lifetime. Yes, we don't understand why Black folks are gravitating to people that hate them, people that don't like them, people that talk ill about them. What is wrong with these people? The brown and the Black people that are running after these people. That's a story for another day. Kimmy Kim says, we were loud over here at the end of their game. I take it that the Eagles won. I take it that the Eagles won because Kimmy says she was cheering. The Eagles must have won yesterday. And I love the Eagles. I love all the Northeast teams. So, but I used to remember when I was in high school, it was the Cowboys. I used to love the Cowboys and the Dolphins. Don't know why, but I did. Kelly, sorry, let me go back. Kelly A says, hold on. Kelly A says, I looked around my office like, where that sound coming from? What sound? What sound, Kelly A? Oh, Bryson, yes. Can we talk about this a moment? And Disney boycott is growing, and the biggest starts came along with Tatiana Maslany, Cynthia Nixon, Howard Stern, and Damon Lindelof. He won't work with ABC. Ooh, they lost. I heard someone said that they lost $6 billion just this weekend. $6 billion. Disney lost $6 billion. So one person had reported, because so many people in a swoop across the country got rid of their Hulu, ESPN, their Disney, and people also canceled their vacations. This is freedom of speech. Because it's not so much about Kimmel. I mean, it is that that they did something wrong to him. But the bigger topic of the matter is free speech. And that Disney, first of all, the FCC never told Disney to do what they did. They just did it, like they did when they folded for George Stephanopoulos. Like they folded. They just keep folding. These companies just keep folding. The FCC did not do it. Well, no, actually, let me take the FCC did. The man that's in charge of the FCC did go gangster, like a mob boss. Well, if you don't do this, something else could happen to you. But Disney, so keep the boycotts going. I say keep the boycotts going. I say get rid of it. Hulu. I put mine out. Put mine out to pasture. I went on my Hulu and start deleting all my information. Like, okay, because you have to also go into your Hulu page, and there's a section called agreement, terms of agreement, and then you have to go in to kind of like delete to take away the permission to use your information. So you have to go in and delete that clause inside the Hulu. You got to do it online, though. You can't do it on the app. And to go online, desktop, and go into that, I think it's called the agreement area, contract of agreement, and go in there, and then you have to click off your information being shared and yada, yada, yada. So make sure you do that before you delete. Like, go in, delete that, and then delete the account. Just saying. Okay. G says, agree. Kimmy got to shut down. Shut it off. Shut the TV off. Shut it off. All the stations, because ABC has caved. NBC, which is NBC is who's NBC? Comcast. No, it's not even Comcast anymore. Is it still Comcast? MSNBC, the whole section, because they already split and broke up and all that situation. NBC Now and all that stuff. CBS, Paramount. All the networks are no good. No longer. No. Goodbye. Turn the TV off, as Don Lemon says. Turn the TV off. Let's not support them. But Disney is alarmed. They even sent out an apology. It's too late. Oh, goodness gracious. Cowboys lost the Bad News Bears. Bryson says on the Giants lost last night. Poor Giants. G says, I'm on vacation, Ron. We're washing the cars now. That's right. Anything you see with Gwendolyn on it this week will be all taped, because the girl knows how to put tapes into action. She knows how to record everything. She is so proactive. Adrian says, just to be clear, there is no purgatory. To be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord, or you know who. This is true. This is, that was the most disturbing part of my growth. When I was a kid growing up in private school, in the Catholic school, and I was like, what's this thing about purgatory? Because, I was raised in a Baptist church, and we only knew about heaven and hell. We only knew about heaven and hell. We didn't know about purgatory. And so I didn't know anything about purgatory until I went to the Catholic Church. So yes, but the Bible does not mention anything about purgatory. There is no word about purgatory in the Bible, but that's another story for another day. That's a theological conversation. Lisa says, we can't get our sugar honey iced tea together in America, but always in other countries' business. I'm in North Carolina and I can't get a real ID for my mom. There are no DMV appointments in the whole state. It's a mess. It's a mess. And G says, and I saw a few news clips where workers in other countries don't feel safe traveling to the US. Yes. And did you hear the latest? Subaru. Oh, should I go to that videotape? Should I get to the videotape on that one? I do believe I'll have to go to the videotape on this one. Subaru. Where's my clip? Subaru decided, no more work in America. We're out of here. Subaru. They're not building anything in America. They are out of here. And let me see, where do we go? Is it Subaru? Did I put it in here? You know, it doesn't always transfer. It doesn't always transfer what I do on my phone to what I do on the desktop. Let's see. Let me see if it was here. Okay, it's in another account. Okay, so Dan Crew. But anyway, I'll have to make the link there. But Subaru is leaving America. Also, Coca-Cola is laying off. So Subaru's laying off. They're getting rid of the workers in America. Also, Coca-Cola is getting rid of people in America. They're laying off. A lot of companies are laying off this week. Are we doing great? Are we great yet? Are we great yet? Lisa says, they said Candace Owens had a fit that she wasn't allowed to speak. I wonder why. Because she and CK, I'm with Gwendolyn. Let's use the word. Let's just say CK. She and CK were good friends. Supposedly, I don't know why they didn't let her speak, but she was supposed to be a good friend of his, much closer than the Orange Man, who got up and was a buffoon, who did not do anything he was supposed to do at that memorial. He went immediately into stuff. Kimmy Kim says, yes, Gwen, national that boycott could be very impactful. We need a big show that we are not happy with these changes. And if you're in the building, make sure you hit the likes. Make sure you hit the likes and hit a share. Share it with your friends right now. Share. Chris and I were talking this morning. We need to get our communities to share what we do more. Share. If you think this is worth sharing, I mean, hello. If you don't think it's worth sharing, then don't share. But if you enjoy this community and you're here, you must most likely enjoy what goes on here. So share it. Share it. That doesn't cost $1. It don't cost anything to share. And yet it means so much. Elise says, for some Black people, you just have to talk about God and they will follow you to hell. Elise, can I read that once again? I got to read Elise's statement once again. For some Black people, you just have to talk about God and they will follow you to hell. It is amazing. This is a phenomena that is global when it comes to Black people. It's not just here in America. It's South America, on the continent of South America, on the continent of Africa, on the continent of North America. However, no, let me take it back. I was going to say not so much in Europe, but in Europe. But it's really big in Africa. You just attach God to it and you can make money, you can do whatever, you can calm the people, you can take them for everything they have. Just connect it to God. Just put the God in front of it and people come running with their pocketbooks and they give everything away. Right? Like the crazy one that was the Orange Man's spiritual guidance. She was selling access to angels. Access to angels. She was selling an access to angels. Okay. Let that sit for a bit. I see all the football conversations. Ooh, Kimmy Kim, the Eagles did great. 3-0. Searching sound. It was coming from the great city. Oh yeah, cities, the sounds. We're all. Lisa says we were all on my son's Hulu. He let us all know he canceled, and we have 1 month and 1 month left. They just changed him for the month. Agent says cancel 6-figure weddings. Oh, what's that? What's 6-figure weddings? I don't know anything about that. They can't. Oh, they canceled Six Figure Wedding. That's a show. They canceled their Disney cruises and vacations. Yes, they did. The people did. Should be a easier way to. Yeah. Oh, yes. They make it difficult to cancel your Hulu. Oh, it is so difficult. So difficult for most of these platforms. Lisa says that's crazy. Should be easier way to. Yeah. Lisa says people have the power because we are the ones paying for everything. The people have the power. Speaking of the people having a power, I'm all over the place today. It's Monday. It's so much went on this weekend. They had a big rally here in New York City on yesterday, and Midtown, a big between, I do believe it was between 57th and 47th, or yeah, it was a big rally. They said it was wall to wall people for 10 blocks straight came out in protest and to support freedom of speech in America. People came out yesterday here in New York City. And maybe this is the thing that wakes people up. Without sounding, there's no other way to say it. But when Black people and people of color their speech is stifled, it's no big deal. But when you get white people that are being scared, then white people wake up. And again, we always say that white people are the ones that are going to be able to help change the tide. They need to be engaged on all levels. They have to be engaged. And there's so many people going out into the streets and protesting. It has to be a huge movement. And again, until you get at least 10% of Americans out in the streets, nothing's going to happen. You know what 10% is of 3? We need rallies that are the size of like 30 million people coming out. You need 30 million people to come out to a rally across the country. Then people hear you. 10%. That's all you need. 10% to start moving the needle. Lisa says, I'm so sad because Kahala Lana Bearfield dropped her new line at Target yesterday and I can't get any of it. Man. Okay, Kimmy Kim says, I feel like most companies will fold because the stockholders don't want to lose money. The biggest result may be for the country to see how many people here are not with all this. Well, notice the stockholders, some stockholders are saying, hello, what are you doing? Remember, the stockholders went after Target and said, what are you doing? Even though they did some cosmetic changes. These companies are losing big dollars. Target has lost so much money. And Disney is about to lose money. I think Disney's going to become the new Target. One is because Disney is so global as a brand. Also, Disney has their hands in so many areas. And most of all, Disney is most recognizable. You see the word Disney, everybody knows what Disney is. And so people are really going to be able to galvanize behind boycotting against Disney because Disney is such a household name. It's like Target. Target is a household name. When the brand has a household name following, it makes it easier for people to galvanize against it if they need to. That's just from my years of color marketing classes I took in school. I mean, not that I know anything beyond that. Cass says, have not done TV or subscriptions in a few years. You all are some other sites have been reliable resources. Thank you, Cass. Thank you, Cassandra. And G says, it's awful here in Texas to get a license. Really? It's difficult. Rosemary says, empty apologies not accepted. Thank you, Rosemary. Kimmy Kim says, definitely too late for apologies. I agree. Yep. So get rid of Disney. It's gone. I love my ABC News. I love my ABC Evening News, my Eyewitness News. I was like, oh, I'm torn. Do I watch the ABC News? Do I watch my ABC News? And then I said, well, most of it has become distorted anyway. Because it's not even really news anymore. So I was like, you know what? 1 second, I can get rid of it. Unless it's something like this. And I can always go to 1010 Wins. Even though 1010 Wins is sponsored by CBS, which is sponsored by you see how monopolized these broadcast companies have become. They own so much. What did Adrian say? Okay, we got Adrian up there. Cast is including the entertainment, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I hear you. Cass says, including entertainment is not the same as back in the day. Yeah, because these corporations own everything. Rosemary said, let me just get her greeting in there. She says, hello, everyone. Hope all had a peaceful weekend. And let's go to the videotape in Warner Wolf's voice, right? Let's take it to the videotape. There is something. Hold on a second. Let me see. I did stumble across something this weekend that was really cool. This was from The President Wants the Smithsonian. Okay, let me share this, and then we'll go back to what you guys are talking about. But I know we usually say this for Fridays on our Focus Fridays, but I say, you know what? This is something I thought was worth sharing for you guys today. And this young lady, and it's called, let me just put it on the screen. Here we go. It's called, she's going through these right now. And all of these great books to read and to have for your families and for your children. And let me just click on that and just hop on her page. She has 560,000 followers. Some of you are already following her. Story Book Library. And it says create interactive read, allow videos and reading resources for children. And so if you are looking for resources for your children, for Black history for folks of color, and you can go on this page. I found it most fascinating. Check her out. I thought, well, why not? We need to make sure that our resources are there because they are planning. I don't know if you heard last week that the folks, I do believe from the Heritage Society and another entity, are planning to come together to create a curriculum for America. A new curriculum. Sounds familiar. Remember the Daughters of the Confederacy? I don't know. Sounds like the Daughters of the Confederacy all over again. But anyway, so you need to protect the learning of your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren. And she offers great resources. Melee storybooks. Okay, there we go. Melee storybooks. That's how you say it. Melee storybooks. So check her out. Check out her page. And I think you'll like that. Okay. What else you guys are saying in here? Let me see. You guys are talking. Exactly. The Lost Cause. Yeah, that's true, G. G says, think about the movies on Disney, movies like Star Wars that talk about fighting back against the Empire. It's a horrible decision for them. Oh, Bryson says 400 celebrities signed open letters to condemn suspension of Jimmy Kimmel, like Adam Scott, Bryan Cranston, Pedro Pascal, Michael Keaton, Jamie Lee Curtis, and Tom Hanks, and more. I think the freedom of speech is going to galvanize a lot of Americans that have been asleep. Some people are still asleep. Some people don't even know this. None of this is going on. Judging by Don Lemon was in the streets of New York yesterday doing impromptu interviews on the street, his street stuff. And most people are clueless. Most people are still clueless. They don't know what's going on around them. They don't care. They don't know. And in some cases, they're just busy with the cares of life. So no condemnation. Lisa says, yes, I am an ABC girly. The other channel's news looks bootleg. Aesthetically, they look like a small middle America outlet instead of a New York City. But see you later, Sade. I'm not watching anymore. And Lisa, I feel the same way about that. ABC News in New York City is top notch. It really is. The desk, the whole it. And when you go to some of the other channels, you're just like, this just looks like small town America. Nothing against small town America, but you just don't have the money to finance that kind of stuff. Dr. Tachi's in the building. When did you slide in the building, Dr. Tachi? She goes, listen closely, all. Mainstream media can no longer be trusted. Follow the breadcrumbs as to who owns what. There may be individuals within these organizations that want to put out truth, but and Dr. Tachi is our media guru. She knows media. She is a professor that teaches media, and she also has her own media platform. She knows what she's talking about. She does not play a professor on television. She is a professor who teaches media. Ooh. Dr. Tachi, I have an idea. How about tomorrow? Maybe Wednesday. I don't know. We got to figure it out. I'm calling you later on, Dr. Tachi. We need a special segment dedicated to what's going on. And no one could address it like Dr. Tachi. Hint, hint, Dr. Tachi. Dr. Tachi is so well versed in media. I always love her opinion and where things are going. Oh, yes, that Bob Iger. He has stained his reputation. Like all of these people. Every single person that follows the Orange Man destroys their reputation. Bob Iger had one of the highest regarded reputations in media history. Not just media history. And he has yielded, folded, and now I was taught years when I was growing up. My father used to tell me growing up, he says, it takes decades, years of hard work to build a great reputation. A great reputation, not just a good reputation, a great reputation. To have a great reputation, it takes years, takes decades for your, like when you walk in the room and someone mentions your name, it's like, the man, the woman. It takes one bad decision, one major bad decision to bring it all down. Bob, known for how he brought back these media companies. It's sad for an orange man that's going to die one day, and your reputation will be ruined for the orange man who is not going to be here forever. If the man lives to 100, only like 20 something years ahead of him, he won't be in power for 20 years. And you throw it all away. I don't understand. Cass says, true, Dr. Tachi, the energy goes to what intentions and who benefits from it. Elise says, exactly, Dr. Tachi, we have to look at who owns what and who the executives are leading the media groups. And who are they? Calling Dr. Tachi to ER. Calling Dr. Tachi to ER, says Lisa. Calling Dr. Tachi. She is our guru. She is our guru. If there's anyone that knows media, it's her. Elise says it's all about the Benjamins. Follow the money. Follow the money. Follow the money. In all of this, it's follow the money. You think these people care about CK and his memory? Some people do. But you think these billionaires, do you really think the orange man cares about CK? No. The orange man cares less about CK. He cares about using CK. Huh. Right? Right? CK. They're using his memory to create to really weaponizing his memory or weaponizing this whole event that happened. They're weaponizing it for their movement. Dr. Chachi said, Cheeto Satan cares about himself only. He is incapable of thinking and feeling about anyone else. Remember, he does not have empathy. And the CK man said empathy is not a good thing. He said he was against empathy. CK, the CK man, was against empathy. How could you walk the planet and the earth and be engaged with humanity and not have empathy? When did empathy become a bad word? Why is empathy a bad word among these people? Lisa said, I was thinking maybe CK is bigger than we really know. No, we meeting the people who are not in it. They could have a whole Underground Railroad kind of situation building their takeover. Do you know they did a survey this week? I think was it last week? I think it was Thursday or Friday. How many Americans knew CK? Not many. Do you know most Americans did not know about CK? They did not know about CK. Not at all. Most Americans don't know who CK is. They only learned of him because of the conservative movement or the Christian nationalists or the Christian extremes pushing it out into the world. But no one knew about him. He wasn't no Martin Luther King. People knew about Martin Luther King, even though a lot of people didn't like Martin Luther King back in the day. Remember, it was the Christian church, Black Christian church, that didn't even support Martin Luther King. That's another part of history. Oh, speaking of history, I got the book. I can't wait to start reading. I start reading it today. Ooh, I can't wait. It's called Black AF History: The Unwhitewashed Story of America by Margaret Harriet. Oh, I've heard so many good things about this book. It's Joy Reid talks about it. Ibram Kendi talks about it. Pharrell Williams talks about it. Amber Ruffin, they're on the back. This book, well, you know, I love history. I love history. Speaking of history, this is the book. This is the book. And it's the Unwhitewashed Story of America. I did not, you know, usually I do my audibles and I just kind of like, but this one I needed to read. History, I have to read. I mean, I have all the historical books that I do audibles, but there's certain histories I have to read it. And I can't tell. I'm diving into it. I'll let you know about it after I finish with it, but I start reading it today. It just came in the mail yesterday. I'm so excited about this book. Anyway, speaking of history, sorry about that. I got excited. I got excited about the history. What history drives me, it makes me happy. Those that don't know their history are doomed to do what? Repeat the ills of it. No, I went to Amazon because there are a lot of scammers online. There are a lot. You see that people talking about this book on like Instagram and all these other places. There are a lot of scammers. Now I know well, some of us are protesting Amazon, but I had to make sure I got the right book, and I had to make sure I had the book. So I went to Amazon to get the book. So you are your son. You are welcome to have it. Yes, after it'll be right at the house. It will be right in the house. I'm packing it with me, but I'm reading it now. I plan to read. I'll probably be finished with it by the end of the week because I love history. But some things you have to meander on. So, Elise says, Dr. Tachi, his death has been a major distraction from the Epstein files, and young people listen to him. Young people, but most mainstream people don't know of CK. Alicia, I get it. You say I was shocked that so many people were at the stadium for CK. It was packed. It was. And there were people waiting for the line. They had the news media covered the lines. There were so many people waiting overnight to get into the stadium. So they were overnight on Saturday, waiting overnight to get into the stadium for Sunday, right? I think it was 100. I think they said it was 100,000 people, which is a lot of people. Don't get me wrong. But 100,000 people in the scheme of things, it's not that big. Because these people came from all over. These people flew in. They took the bus. They took the train. Those weren't 100,000 Arizonians coming out. There was a lot of people. I do believe they estimate. I think I saw the news report of 100,000 people. So, but in the scheme of things, still people don't know who this man was. They don't know who he was. They're just learning about CK. Exactly, Dr. Chachi, versus the millions that weren't there. To be quite honest, there are 360 plus million people in America. 100,000 isn't a lot of people, you know, in the scheme of things. That's right, because 360,000 people did not show up. 360 million people did not show up. But they have the voices, they have the media, to make it look larger than what it is. It is not a big thing. Okay, it is time for me to leave you. What's Motivation Monday? Motivation Monday today is simply stay focused. Focus on what matters. I was going to give you some quotes today, but I just wanted to just spend time with you and just talk. I just wanted to hang out with you. But these topics that we talked about, I think you should go investigate. Definitely Subaru. I will have the link to the video from my other page that I will put onto this in the description on YouTube. And how many jobs this week are laying off? So you think the jobless numbers were bad last week? Wait till the next numbers come out. Also, I did put into my stories, they are no longer talking about I think this how many people are sick in America. So they got rid of those numbers. So no more. They're not doing a couple more stats that they're not sharing with the country any longer. Trump has suspended them. The Orange Man has suspended those numbers. So, you know, the whole thing, like, if you don't talk about the number of people that are unalive that, you know, died from COVID, then then it don't exist. That's in their mindset. So they're getting rid of all the data points so that way you don't know what's going on in our country. So stay tuned. And I'll say one more thing about the CD. One of the directors, or one of the people that work for the CDC, he was, I think he was a director. One of the directors, he says he no longer trusts the CDC, and now he has to look to the WHO and other health organizations around the world to help come to a consensus of what's going on in healthcare in this country. But you have to go outside the country to get it, because the CDC is no longer for him a trusted resource. So again, you know how I feel. Turn on other outside sources for your news. This is a great time. Elise says that is in Project 2025. They are not collecting data. Oh, that's what it was. Thank you, Elise. They are not collecting data on hunger anymore. That's what it was, hunger. So if they don't talk about the hungry, there's no people that are hungry in America. That's right. Because I immediately thought about Gwendolyn, because you know Gwendolyn works with at the food bank, and there's a lot of hungry people in America. A lot of them. Okay, that's it. I gotta get ready for my day. It's going to be a busy day. I might be able. I don't know if I'll be able to share from the Namibian event this evening. I don't know. Maybe I'll ask permission. I'll say, can I share a little bit? It definitely won't be so formal. I will be formally dressed and ready for this event this evening. So keep me in your thoughts and yeah. So I will be with the Namibian delegation this evening. So I'm excited about that, and I'll give you a report on that tomorrow and how that went. I am also going to a film strategy seminar for the African diaspora. That is this afternoon, so I'll be there. I might be able to share a little bit from there. So it's going to be a busy day today. So guys, love you. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you like and subscribe and share. That's how we grow as a community. Okay, and I will see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining. Love you. Hello, and thank you for joining us today. Make sure you hit the like, the subscribe, and leave a comment on this video. I would love to hear from you. Thank you again. Until I see you next time.